Welcome to another exciting edition of Million Dollar Peddlers. I'm Papergoy. So I got a call about a week and a half ago from Mr. Magazine. And he prefaced it by, "You're probably going to think this is dumb, but." And I said, what is it? What is it? And I knew he'd been working on a deal to get an X-Men run. And I believe I know it starts at number 8 and it's complete through, and I'm not sure if it's complete through 300 or 500. I think it might be 500. So it's a complete run of X-Men nearly. He needs the first 7 issues. And he said to me, "Is this dumb if I keep it?" And he paid fair on it. I mean, he put a fair amount of money out for it, but obviously there's enough room that he can make some money off of it, especially if he breaks it up. And I said, keep it. And he started explaining why he thought it would be a good idea to keep it. And then he stopped and said, "Wait, what did you say?" And I said, keep it. By all means, keep it. And his reasoning was that he's got a lot of other things to list. And I said, yeah, you do. You most definitely do. We did a video about the Star Wars haul. I said, which is going to sell better for Christmas? Lots and lots of Star Wars toys or X-Men comics? And he said, well, probably the Star Wars toys. I said, exactly. Put your people on selling the Star Wars toys. Take the X-Men collection and put it off in the corner somewhere. And in your head, it's yours. And at some point, when a new X-Men movie comes out or whatnot, you go ahead and you list it. It's not going to go down in value. They're not going to have a warehouse find of entire runs of X-Men. You've got nothing at all to worry about on that side of things. It's only going to appreciate. You're in a situation where you don't need to get the money back right away on it. So look at it as an investment. And if you want to call it going into your collection, whatever it is you want to call it, absolutely fine. I do the same thing regularly. There are various things that I collect when I pick things up in collections. And I pull them out and I put them aside. And I'm going to list them. I absolutely am going to list them when I get done with everything else. So in the short term, I'm holding on to these things because A, they're not going to go down in value, and B, I don't have time to get to them anyway. And if I've got 30,000 unlisted items, if I collect 10 of those items, and I have 29,990, still not going to get to them anytime soon. So I've got a special room where I kind of put off my collection and keep them there. Well, anytime I absolutely need a little bit of money, I can go into that room and pull stuff out and sell it. I'm sure I've got some duplicates, so about once every couple of years, I kind of start sorting stuff out and say, hey, where did I get this from? Where did I get this from? And I keep the higher grade one and I sell the lower grade one, and that sort of thing. And so Mr. Magazine was actually surprised at my answer, but then when he sat back and thought about it, he saw the logic in it. So I'm telling you, you can do the same thing. You're going to sell it. At some point, you absolutely are going to sell it, hopefully, or you're going to burden your heirs with it, which hopefully you do not do. So keep it in the short term. Hold on to it. My advice would be different for him if it were 15 years ago when he was buying Beanie Babies, or 18 years ago when he was buying Pogs, or whenever those things were hot. If it's the hot thing at a moment, no, most certainly do not hang on to it. Sell it. Get the money out of it. 99 times out of 100, the market crashes on things. Occasionally there will be something or other that still holds out and has value for the long term, but generally speaking, not. So to get rid of that. But on the other stuff, hold on to it. I recently picked up the large collection of comics and magazines and that kind of thing, and there are a few Golden Age in there. No superhero, unfortunately, but a few Golden Age. Some really cool Archies and other things like that, a Shadow comic, etc., etc. I've put those aside. I said I'm not going to get to listing them anytime soon. Plus, with the living room being the way the living room is right now, I definitely need to get stuff listed in bulk in a hurry, which is why I'm listing on Amazon, as I've noted in a prior video. If I take the time to list that one Archie comic, it's not going to bring a lot of money back right away. It's going to take too long to list, and I'm a lot better off taking a pile of Time magazines and getting those listed and out of the way. So in the short term, I'm collecting those Archie comics, and nothing wrong with that whatsoever. They're not making any more. I believe there's an Archie Annual number 3 in there with a really nice looking cover of Archie on there with his buck teeth and all that kind of thing. They're not making any more of them. They're not making any more of the Shadow comic from the 1940s. They're not making any more of those type items. So hang on to them. They're not going to go down in value. And when I do finally find them and sell it, maybe it's worth $50 now. It'll be worth $70 at that point. So I'll end up making a few more dollars when I finally get around to it. So I wanted to tell you, if you've got things like that, collect them. As long as you've got other stuff to sell, collect away and then sell them another day. Till next video.